Welcome to CTV News, Your Canada. It's Tuesday, June 24th. We'll bring you profiles of fascinating Canadians and stories about your community. Thanks for watching.
Images that are truly out of this world.
In the images that we saw, we had galaxies nearby to us. We had very far away galaxies. There were objects we'd never seen before. And this is just the tiniest snapshot.
Here you can see Simony survey telescope.
The first images from the Vera C. Rubin Observatory in Chile, the Earth's largest camera, have made their way back to Earth.
The first images are amazing. Even knowing kind of, on paper what was going to come out, to actually see the images and the resolution is pretty awe-inspiring.
The telescope has been under construction for nearly 2 decades, and this week marks the first few images sent back from space.
Very soon, the telescope will start real operations, which means it'll start giving us data all the time, and really we'll have to run to keep up with it, which is exciting.
The live stream of the first findings were shared around the world, including to students and professors at the University of Toronto.
Even though we're watching from the US, this is a really big moment for Canada because it means that we actually will be able to do science with the data as well and discover these incredible things.
Over the next decade, the Rubin Observatory is set to create the ultimate time-lapse of the Southern Hemisphere. The public is encouraged to follow along by visiting rubinobservatory.org. Jessica Smith, CTV News.
Daddy messed it up.
Meet Grayson, a soon-to-be 1-year-old baby. When Grayson was born, he weighed a staggering 15 pounds and 10 ounces, a weight not seen before at Orillia Soldiers Memorial Hospital, making a case for the largest baby ever born in Ontario.
He was 24.5 inches long, and his head was 42.5 centimeters, I believe.
Correct.
I did have a planned C-section for that day, so we left here bright and early, I believe 4 o'clock in the morning, I think it was.
With a baby born of that size, there came challenges, especially after birth.
He was wearing a size 3 diaper, which isn't very common for a newborn baby, but the hospital was very good with, getting their hands on the resources that we needed.
When Orillia Soldiers Memorial Hospital went to register Grayson's weight, they ran into a unique situation.
When Grayson was born, the team went to enter his weight into the Ontario registry, and we were surprised to find out that his weight exceeded the upper limit. We had to actually call the Ontario registry, and they had to manually update it on their end, which was a first for us.
Grayson would wear clothing for a 6-month-old baby right after birth, but his growth has now slowed down, looking and acting as an 11-month-old baby should. The family sharing their story in hopes of encouraging families to trust the process of your pregnancy if having a larger baby.
There were challenges and obstacles with Grayson at the beginning, and lots of unknowns, even from, healthcare professionals and everything, but we got through it all, and I mean, he's thriving. He's doing amazing.
According to Born Ontario, Grayson's birth weight of 15 pounds and 10 ounces would put him in the top 0.01 percentile of weight when it comes to babies being born. Grayson, a happy and healthy baby, will be turning 1 on July 4th. Luke Simard, CTV News, Orillia.
Veteran Peter Martin has been coming to Transcona Cemetery every November for years, bringing students to the annual No Stone Left Alone ceremony at the Field of Honor. 2 years ago, the kids asked him why 2 graves had no names.
I was in tears. I was devastated. I said, you mean for over 20 years I've been bringing students here and they have not honored those 2 because nobody knew their names. They weren't marked.
Since then, he has been hard at work trying to solve that mystery.
We started the last year working to find out what happened, how we can overturn this, and how we can make it happen.
Months of research and phone calls led to 2 names, William Cabot Lodge and William Howard Chester. Lodge died in 2005, and Chester passed away 23 years ago this week.
Everyone who serves signs that same piece of paper saying they'll serve the country when needed, where needed. And these 2 did that, Korea, World War II.
It's not clear why these graves were left unmarked, but Martin felt compelled to identify these men.
But nobody knows, and nobody knew. I felt so bad that I could at least honor them and say thank you for your service.
He asked fellow veteran Joe Sapaschuk to make 2 temporary crosses. Sapaschuk quickly made them in his garage.
We had to right a wrong that's been for 20 years. There's an old Ukrainian saying Vichnaya Pamyat, meaning you will be remembered. So you have to honor those that went before you.
Permanent markers will be made with the help of the Last Post Fund, an organization which helps thousands of military families connect with the unmarked graves of loved ones.
To date, I believe we're about 8,000 unmarked grave headstones that we've been able to erect.
Chester's great-grandson said Martin's work has unlocked a new chapter in his family history.
It's been profound in a way. You know, when they hear things like this, it really does gladden their hearts. And I know that that's the case for me personally as well.
Joseph Bernacki, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Careful cutting, gluing, and hours of wrapping. These Montrealers are getting ready to share a little slice of home.
This one is called La Trini. We try to incorporate some of the colors of Trinidad and Tobago, the red, white, and black. I tend to stick more with the red and the white.
The outfits are known as mas and are handmade with beads, jewels, and feathers. Each one can cost hundreds of dollars to produce and take around 50 hours to make.
It's a time to show yourself off, your physique, your color, your skin tone. This is me, and this is what I represent.
The celebration of Caribbean culture has been happening in Montreal for over 50 years, drawing tens of thousands of revelers to the streets. But recently, it faced financial and bureaucratic trouble. Now it's back, part party and 100% pride.
It's a show of our strength and the struggles that the Caribbean nations have had in their time of being enslaved people and their choice of rebellion.
And that spirit spans generations. Raquel started participating in the festival at just 4 years old. The Pitsy Mass, just for kids, happens on June 28th. Caramas is on July 5th.
It's very important to keep these kind of traditions alive, especially where we have the old and we have the young, and we can actually interchange that intergeneral relationship.
And you don't have to have Caribbean roots to join in.
We're welcoming everybody to come and join us.
Participants have been making outfits for months to have enough. Montrealers can buy masks from each of the 6 participating bands to show your colors.
See, there's a lot of gems. We try to incorporate the Jamaican colors, you know, the yellow, the green, the gold, you know, in an abstract way.
A bold way to celebrate heritage from head to toe. Kelly Gregg, CTV News.
Go ahead. It's an unorthodox way to do archery, but this is the system Kaya and her principal have come up with. They have to shoot like this because the grade 9 student has arthrogryposis multiplex congenta and clubbed hands and feet. AMC affects people's joints, often fixing them in one position.
When I was born, my legs were curved inwards like that, so I had a few surgeries to straighten my legs out.
She says she always wanted to play a sport, but the condition makes even simple daily tasks a challenge.
Can't walk long distances without feeling tired. Like even just walking to school, and I live like 5 minutes away, it's a lot of effort just because my legs aren't that strong.
I've had the opportunity to kind of see her go through for some of her challenges and how she's overcome things.
They've been a dynamic duo for the past 5 years, creating a special bond, even comparing themselves to cartoon characters SpongeBob and Patrick.
I'm Patrick.
Competing in archery comes with its own learning curve, let alone tag teaming it, but eventually they hit the bullseye. No shock to the people closest to Kaya.
She's such a thirst for life. Like, she just wants to do things, and it's
and she's a go-getter. Like, she just, nothing stops her.
Holding a bow and watching an arrow whiz by isn't typically in a principal's job description, but Les Worthington says he's happy to do it to make her feel like she belongs.
When you're building school culture, you want every kid to feel like they're a part of something.
He has looked out for her like another parent.
It makes me feel like very supported and happy that I have someone who trusts me and believes in me.
Next Monday is AMC Day, bringing awareness to the condition, but every day Kaya is bringing awareness to the fact the condition is not holding her back. Evan Kenny, CTV News, Edmonton.
You certainly want something made using their product.
CTV is a customer,
but also the BBC and say ABC. I mean, on Monday, we just brought Good Morning America to air in their new venue, which is really cool.
Ottawa-based Ross Video makes equipment and software for high-end video production.
You could say that all of our customers are famous, because anybody who does video at that level is going to be really, really well known. So there's some coolness.
This is David Ross, Ross Video CEO. His father started the company.
My father sold a World War II fabric trainer airplane that he just finished rebuilding, and that was $3,500, and that was the seed capital of this company. That's all the external money that really ever went into the company.
A company that now employs about 1,400 people with offices throughout the world, including a manufacturing facility in Iroquois, Ontario, about an hour south of Ottawa.
We're one of the largest employers in Eastern Ontario. We've got about 250 people in Iroquois with some of the most high-tech manufacturing you'll see anywhere.
High-tech equipment like video switchers that allow your favorite TV program to put many camera angles together.
When the camera moves, it looks like it's in three-dimensional space.
Augmented reality, putting TV hosts in virtual worlds. Cameras that fly through stadiums, and robotic cameras that move on their own. So who are the clients?
This is the CTV Ottawa control room. What you're watching now, well, it came through here. And much of the equipment and software is from Ross Video.
But it's not just TV networks.
This is a subset of all the sports teams that we have as customers.
Sports teams and stadiums throughout the world, governments.
So Parliament Hill, that's a customer. But also the White House, and also the European Concilium, and the Vatican.
Making employees here Canadian proud.
Definitely does feel good working at a Canadian company and kind of representing Canada, I guess, on a world stage.
It's fantastic to know that there's a company like this that makes world-class video equipment and broadcast equipment that's sold all around the world.
And it doesn't get any more Canadian than this.
Well, this is the Order of Canada medal.
So the next time you watch even American TV like the Super Bowl, you'll know a bit of Canada, maybe part of it.
That's another day in the office.
Peter Sperling, CTV News.
When Justin McCachran stepped back onto the mat in 2022, he never expected to be a silver medalist at the most recent World Taekwondo Championships.
I never, in my wildest dreams, thought that this would happen, let alone bring my kids with me.
Justin, alongside his daughter Trinity and son Miles, not only competed on the world stage in Toronto at the end of May, but each collected some hardware for their sparring abilities. 14-year-old Trinity owns the family bragging rights with a gold medal and the title of world champion in her weight class.
Family bonding, we beat the crap out of each other. It's pretty fun. I love them so much. They've always been there for me, not just for like this, they've been here for a lot of stuff. And it's nice that I got to do this with them too.
Miles's bronze medal may be the most impressive of the bunch. In one match, his competitor had improper equipment. Rather than take a forfeit for a path to gold, he instead elected for a gentleman's agreement and fought his opponent without protective gear.
Technically, I only lost to one guy, and that was the world champion. So I think I think that's pretty impressive. Okay.
The humility is a source of pride for both the family and their instructor.
Just the integrity, really, alone of what that is. And that's really what our martial art thrives on. I'm amazed in a lot of ways with all our students, particularly as a family that they've been able to accomplish so much.
I just can't thank everyone enough for it, especially the town, because they've always been in on everything we've tried to do. And now I can't wait to do it again.
Up next for the McCachrans, Miles is off to college to pursue a trade, while Justin and Trinity have already begun preparations for next year's Worlds overseas in Paris. Avery McRae, CTV News, McAdam, New Brunswick.
Under a blazing sun, Landon Bevan is hard at work.
Thanks, boys. Good job.
The 6-year-old, along with his family, serving lemonade Saturday outside their home.
We have little signs set up so that the people know that we have lemonade.
The Bell River resident has been crafting ideas to raise money for a cause near and dear to his heart.
We have like little balloons, like knowing that like we have like my grandpa has cancer.
He's pretty smart for a 6-year-old.
Landon's grandfather, Roy Knight, was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in February.
The chemo really takes a toll on somebody. It, out of the 2 weeks, I Normally have 4 good days out of the 2 weeks.
After months of chemotherapy, he hopes to undergo nanoknife, a procedure using pulses of electricity to destroy cancer cells that's not offered in Canada.
There are a lot of people who we have met through online support groups, but also from around the world who have done nanoknife. It's added 10 or more years to their life.
The family is hoping to raise about $80,000 for nanoknife surgery in Florida, and with rates of pancreatic cancer on the rise, they feel Canada has more work to do.
There really does need to be more research done on pancreatic cancer treatment guidelines.
For Landon and the rest of Knight's grandchildren, each fundraiser is just hope for another day of memories.
Go fishing.
He goes fishing?
Yeah, and he makes the funniest jokes.
He's pretty funny.
The surgery has been tentatively set for July 24th if they can raise enough.
Hopefully this, nanoknife helps to see the kids grow up.
Robert Lothian, CTV News, Bell River.
The Mickelson Invitational is unlike any other golf tournament in Calgary. It's kind of like Live Golf. It's all about the energy, with music playing all day, every day. Defending Alberta men's amateur champ Brett Jones is teeing it up for the second straight year. The Calgarian says he loves playing in this event.
Oh, it's a great event. They get lots of people out here. It's a great atmosphere. They run it. It's definitely the best run event I've ever played in Canada. Between the volunteers, the social media, you got the creators, so you get lots of younger kids out here. It's actually it's really fun to be a part of it.
The Mickelson Invitational is a 3-day, 54-hole stroke play event. The professional purse is $150,000. The amateur purse is $10,000. And there's also a $10,000 winner-take-all creator division. Stefan Cox got into the field earlier this month at a qualifier at Heritage Point.
To me, this is the best championship that occurs in Alberta each year now. I've been lucky enough to play in it the past 2 years, and the caliber of player is very high, and the golf course is superb. It's a championship test. I love the whole environment of the event with the music and the atmosphere.
Cox had a top 10 in the first Mickelson National. Winning it would mean a lot.
It'd be fantastic. It'd be the best win of my career, that's for sure. It fits my eye, it fits my game. I grew up in the UK playing more link-style golf in the wind. I like controlling trajectory of shots, using slopes, not having to carry everything in. You can use your imagination here.
Jones finished 49th last year. It was a great learning experience, and he's ready to take a run at the championship this time around.
Oh, this one would be awesome. Yeah, I'm actually a member out here now this year, so it'd be pretty cool to win a title out of my home course, and especially a big event like this. So.
Buzzing sound has created its own buzz in the Stonebridge community.
I would say it sounds like an air raid siren.
Jim Walters has lived in Stonebridge for 3 years. That's when the incessant buzzing started.
You have to close the window. I woke up at 5 last week one day, and it was going, and I couldn't go back to sleep.
He posted his concerns to a Stonebridge Facebook page, many people commenting saying the sound is annoying or they have to use earplugs, another calling it just plain loud. There were speculations that the sound was meant to deter pigeons, but then the source emerged. An air conditioner at a seniors complex. The company that manages a Spear Hunter Village said regular maintenance on our HVAC system is required yearly, and the scope of work depends on what is needed to keep our systems in good and safe working order. We're committed to looking at all options to mitigate the impact to residents, team members, and the surrounding community next year. Adding, we value being part of the Stonebridge community and extend our sincere apologies. The city of Saskatoon referred us to their noise bylaw. It prohibits any noise which is unreasonably loud or excessive, unreasonably disturbs the comfort, peace, or safety of reasonable persons of ordinary sensitivity, or is so harsh, prolonged, unnatural, or unusual in time or place as to occasion unreasonable discomfort. Walters is hopeful the issue is resolved so he can open his windows this summer, but is prepared to follow up if needed.
We didn't have to call the police. We didn't have to call the city. We just dealt with it ourselves, and thankfully the company was willing to listen.
He adds that sounds like car horns or trains are a regular part of city life. Carla Shinkaruk, CTV News, Saskatoon.
You only had to walk a few steps in Victoria Park to get a mix of cuisine from around the globe.
We are making a fresh sugarcane juice. We make it on site. It's natural source of sugar. Everyone is like amazed because they are seeing it for the very first time that I'm making a juice out of a sugarcane juice. They think that it's a bamboo, but it's not a bamboo, it's sugarcane.
Having immigrated from India, they are just one of the hidden success stories in the forest city. A few steps away, it was impossible to ignore the smell of fresh Filipino barbecue from Bekong's Express.
Seeing my parents build this business from the ground up, to see from we were just making bread from our house to coming here, being part of a festival, and everyone knows our name, and we're starting to build something.
The business, located in East London, won Best Food at the 2024 festival.
To know that there are people from other countries who want to try our food, it's I know it warms my heart to be seeing all these different cultures with all different backgrounds.
The music was playing, the drinks were flowing, and patrons were seeking refuge from the summer heat.
What you can really expect in a show like this is cultural. You're going to see all kinds of culture represented and their food. We brought in all kinds of different kinds of food from around the Caribbean, from even Africa, India. It's all represented here. I believe we've had such a great immigration of people that have come to this country and created their own foods, and they brought it to us. We didn't have to go there. They brought it to us right here in Victoria Park.
Brent Lale, CTV News.
When Chris Strickland first met Stevie at a barbecue fundraiser for an animal rescue group, he could see that she couldn't.
The initial reaction is always, so sad. They always feel so bad.
Stevie had been dropped off at the rescue because of her eyes, so Chris and his fiancée Jen decided to foster the puppy until he could find a forever home.
Super sweet, very affectionate, just wanted to be loved.
Turns out Stevie was suffering from a disease that made her blind since birth, caused pain ever since, and could only be remedied by removing both eyes.
It was a long process, obviously, to kind of go through that.
So Chris and Jen committed to care for Stevie during her months-long recovery from surgery, while the rescue worked to rehome her.
We grew way too attached. As you can see, it's not hard.
The couple's other dogs had fallen in love with Stevie too, so they decided to adopt her.
We don't let her disability define her. We wanted her to explore, discover. We didn't want to hold her back.
Not that they could have, if they tried.
All of our other pack members were middle-aged, and all of a sudden we had a young puppy.
A can-do kind of canine, who confidently figured out how to do all sorts of active things on her own, from charting her own path on hikes to becoming a passionate paddleboarder.
She is so full of life.
And so full of compassion, too, that Stevie also volunteers as a therapy dog for people overwhelmed working in hospitals and businesses.
She cuddles them much like she's cuddling me right now. You kind of see the tension and the stress just melt away.
And after Chris inevitably shares Stevie's story, they're left unquestionably inspired, like he and Jen were.
Taught both of us not to have a disability kind of define you, that you can overcome adversity.
And that even if you lose your sight, you can still gain the vision to live your life to the fullest. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Abbotsford.